So yes guys, hello and welcome back to the Templeton Triathlete YouTube channel. It has currently been 3 weeks since the Aberfeldy race. What a race that was, but guess what, it's time to race again. This time we've got our sights set on an Olympic distance race, so a 1.5km swim, 40k bike and 10k run. The race is located down in Dumfries in Galloway, so the current time is about 1 o'clock. It's about a couple hours drive. We're getting the car packed just now, and yeah, I'll catch you when we get there. We have now just completed the first part of the drive, so just about to go get registered, collect my race number, and yeah, once we get to the accommodation for tonight, I'll go into a bit more detail about what race it is that I'm actually doing. And there we go, another quick short drive after registration. We have now made it to the digs for the night, and wow, it actually looks pretty good. So I booked it on Airbnb, just this nice little tiny cabin, and yeah, it is exactly what it says on the tin. Nice and small, but it's got absolutely everything that we need. It's got a fridge, microwave oven, and plenty of cutlery, plates, dishes, so it should see us through until tomorrow morning. So, going into a bit more detail about the race, I'm going to be taking part in the wee Beltie Triathlon. As I said earlier, it's an Olympic distance race. There is also a middle distance race on offer, but I thought it'd be just best to go and test out another triathlon distance to see how I get on. So the swim starts in the Cross Michael Bay Arena. It's 2 laps, so an Aussie exit in the middle. Hopefully I don't stumble over too much. Then out onto the bike, it's one big loop around Loch Ken, about 40k, pretty flat course, looking like it's only got not even 250 metres of elevation in that 40k. So yeah, definitely going to be one where I'll need to be tucking in on the aero bars as much as possible, and while staying aero, trying to be as fast as I can. Then it's out for the 10k run, and yeah, from watching previous reviews of the race, having a quick look again at the basic elevation, 130 metres over the 10k, it's not a flat course by any means. Going to be reasonably challenging, but I think that will definitely suit my strengths for race day. The weather in Scotland this week has also been absolutely glorious. 23, 24, 25 degrees every single day. So I'm hoping that's hit up the water just ever so slightly as well, so I don't feel too cold getting out onto the bike. Since the Aberfeldy race, it took me about 4 or 5 days to be fully recovered after it, and I feel that the training that I've done in that time has been pretty solid. I've done really condensed blocks of very high intensity efforts, so like 2 or 3 day blocks with 1 day recovery afterwards. Most of the time, or most of the big effort, was spent on the bike, just working in and around that threshold area for the 40k loop with it being flat. I'm thinking about just holding power just sub threshold, so yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of hard effort on that bike. The swim, I feel that I've got a reasonable feel for the water over the past couple of weeks, and the run is pretty much where it's always at, just feeling strong. And yeah, with it being a hilly run course, I just want to be making sure I'm pushing hard on the uphills but still keeping that speed on the downhills. For now, it's time just to get the legs up, get the classic pre-race pizza down for dinner, and yeah, I'll catch you again when it's race morning. Race morning is now here, bike has been racked, and yeah, just checking out the exit from T1. It's quite a bumpy bit of road, but should be fine. They've laid out some astro that we can go over, so that's quite good. Going up now to collect my time chip. The fog has settled for quite a bit, so I think the longer race will last, or will start a wee bit later than expected. But that's not too bad. The warmer the better for me. If the sun, or if it stays overcast but heats up a bit more, that'll be perfect. So yeah, I'll catch you again closer to the race start. Current time, we're just coming up to 8:30. The race did start a wee bit later for the middle distance event, which was scheduled to start 45 minutes before the standard Olympic distance. So yeah, we've got a wee bit more time just to let the fog clear, like I was saying earlier. and now it's just waiting for that race start.
Yeah, Adam, here we go.
Take your time. Nice one. Woohoo! Ah! Woohoo!
Go, go, go!
Well done, mate. Woohoo!
We were at Beltie. How was that, Sunshine?
Absolutely class.
Yeah.
Wow, there we go. So, swim. I came out of the water in a reasonable time.
Nice.
Bike, who cares about race pace? Full gas. Managed to compose myself for the last like 4k. I was like, take on an extra gel. And then I remembered the absolute glorious jelly babies that I put in. Had them, boom, unbelievable boost. And then on the run, the first 2k, crazy trails, passed about 6 or 7 people, got to a gate, had no idea where I was going, guessed the right way.
Yeah, buddy.
Then managed to surge on, and yep, I knew when I was running that there was going to be one more person in front of me, someone that I had been Strava snooping for. Congratulations to Sam. Again, later on I will do a full debrief for the race. Some amount of big hitters here today. For such a grassroots event, incredibly well posted. Just everyone here, just the passion for triathlon, you definitely feel it. The run for me, I managed to hold strong. Again, more stats later on. That last kilometre I'm pretty sure was 3:05, 3:06. Completely downhill, but still had the strength in the legs to push on. And yeah, now just heading back to the car, quick change, and then see what's going to happen for the awards later on.
Second place was Adam Templeton and third place was Tom James.
Brewers Fair, bash. And just like that, we've made it back home. Another great weekend away. Brewers Fair there definitely hit the spot. Now it's time to break down the details of how the race actually went. So starting off, the race itself, we were eventually in the water, like I was saying, a later start around about 9 o'clock, which was quite nice. Managed to get a good solid sleep last night, or as solid as it can be before race day. Into the water, and wow, it felt pretty warm. I'd say it was even warmer than the local swimming pool, to be honest. And once the race begun, managed to get into a good rhythm. We did start in the water, so it was a sort of mass start. Short lap to begin with, then a big lap. So my swim times were for the short lap just over 9 minutes, and then just over 15 minutes for the big loop. In total it was probably about 1200 metres for the swim, which a shorter swim for me, that works best because, as we know, swimming's not my strong point. And yeah, classic 2-minute pace for me. Then getting out the water into T1, because the water was warmer, I wasn't completely freezing. Managed to have some mobility in my hands, got my shoes on, got my helmet on, and was out on the bike within 2 minutes and 22 seconds. I was absolutely flying through that. However, it then did take me about 10-15 seconds to clip in, as you've probably seen from one of the video clips. Going onto the bike, my overall bike time was 1 hour, 6 minutes and 8 seconds. That includes the wee run up from transition and then the sort of run down back to the transition mat. The bike computer time was 1 hour, 4 minutes, thereabouts. Average power was 245, normalised was 249, so very constant power throughout. Exactly the training that I've been doing on Zwift, sitting just sort of sub-threshold, surging over when overtaking people and coming back down, but keeping it high enough, keeping the power in control, and yeah, not letting my heart rate slip away too much. Average heart rate for the bike was 169, with a max of about 175. And yeah, average speed over the 40k was 37 per hour. So again, a bike ride where I thought I was going to go out and get like 36k an hour, so to get 37 was just unbelievable. Then looking towards T2, once again in and out pretty fast, under a minute on the chip timing, probably just like a minute and a half by the time I got my bike down, and then went back out overall. Then onto the run, and again, chip time was 38.27. The run itself was slightly longer, closer to about 11k. With it being 11k, it meant my average pace was round about 3:30 per kilometre. The first 2k was pretty grim, uphill on this trail single track, but managed to push on strong once I hit the tarmac, got into cruise control, and yeah, from there it was just a case of keeping ahead, not burning too many matches early on. And the last 2.5k, what a descent it was. On Strava, it gave me my third fastest time in the mile. I was running that fast in the downhills. My last 2 kilometres, it was a 3:09, followed by 3:05. So yeah, I was not hanging about. And now looking at my overall time, so I finished in 2 hours, 12 minutes and 17 seconds. Again, a time I'm completely blown away with. I honestly went into this race thinking if I beat 2 hours 30 or 2:25, looking at the times from previous years, that was generally where the front was around that 2 hours 25. If you get that, you're on the podium or winning the overall event. This year, unfortunately, I did finish second. When I say unfortunately, I couldn't have asked for much more. The boy in first, Sam, unbelievable performance from him. I didn't see him all day. He was out of the water probably a couple minutes before me and held strong enough on the bike in the run to never let me catch up. The thing was as well, once I'd crossed the line and seen other people cross the line, it was all people that I recognised myself. I don't know if anyone else does it, but before these big events I like to do a bit of Strava snooping just to see who else is about, who's competed at it before, if anyone's preparing for it this time round. So yeah, basically I knew exactly what their training had been, how they'd been performing, what they'd been up to, and I'm going up chatting to them as if I know them, and they don't know me at all. But yeah, it was great just seeing everyone, and what a brilliant event. Of course, I want to give a big shout out to the event organisers. It was a great event hosted for everyone. It was really nice as well, actually. Instead of just having the top prizes for the top finishers, we actually all got a custom wee Beltie wine bottle, which was really great. To be able to have that for every single competitor was just absolutely brilliant. And I guess that's what triathlon's all about. Yes, it's great to go and podium and win at these races, but it's more about the community and everyone coming together and enjoying this small sport that we all really would want to see grow to as big as possible. Like always, just like the buses, you wait a year and a half to race a triathlon and then 2 come at once in the space of 3 weeks. Another triathlon distance under my belt. I definitely think that Olympic distance is probably what works best for me. That area where it's sub-threshold, but you're not going closer to the 4-hour range, it's closer to that 2.5 hour. Where my muscular endurance and training is at the moment, it probably suits me best. So the sprint distance, too fast. Middle distance, the strength I will build over the coming months and years, but again, a work in progress. The Olympic distance, that's where the fun is at. And with that, we've came to the end of another race video. If you did enjoy, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.